now.
All right, excellent. Let's get to see a match play out here between two unknown entities playing unknown archetypes.
Ooh, should be exciting.
Logan Peterson on the left, Stephen Wise on the right.
So could be anything. Could be mono red to wolf run to green white tokens.
Yeah, I'd love to see some green white tokens. We haven't really seen any tokens decks. We saw Drew's which was blue white, has the potential to create tokens with Moreland Haunt.
Barely tokens. Didn't even play Midnight Haunting.
Yeah, but no Midnight Haunting, no Intangible Virtue, nothing, nothing like that.
Nothing spicy. But it looks like they have their openers. They're ready to go.
All right, well, off to the races. Stephen Wise leads with the Tapped Glacial Fortress.
And I see a Dark Slick Shores in his hand, so it will be a blue, black, white deck.
Yep, probably something Solar Flare. Inkmoth Nexus from Logan Peterson. What do you think? Wolf Run Ramp in the dark?
Ooh, yep, Wolf Run Ramp. No, looks like mono black Infect. Very cool.
All right, so we have Solar Flare versus Mono Black Infect. This is supposed to favor the Mono Black Infect player, but we haven't seen the deck do anything on camera today. We've shown it 3 games, Mono Black Infect, and it's lost handily every single time.
Yep. Jerry Thompson, Brandon Large, all losses.
I think Chris Van Meter had a quote where he said, I've never seen Mono Black Infect do anything but play 3 drops and die.
Right.
So
it's probably not a bad assessment of it. But it looks like Logan Peterson, we have our deck list here. We have Whispering Specters, Phyrexian Crusaders, 3 Skitherix, Plague Stingers, the usual suspects, Tezzeret's Gambit, Doomblade, Virulent Wound, Despise, Dismember, Victim of Night, Contagion Clasp, that's an interesting one, and Lash Wraith.
And he still has 3 Lilianas too. So a lot of them have opted to cut their Lilianas. Logan goes for one of those Crusaders here, but Steven has the mana leak to shut him off of that.
Yep, and it looks like 3 Day of Judgments in Steven's hand.
Ooh, yeah, that's that many he has in his deck.
Those could be very strong, especially, you don't usually expect the second, you almost never expect the third. Those could be backbreaking.
3 days, yeah. That's a lot of Day of Judgment. Of course, against Inkmoth Nexus, not so impressive. And Logan opts to not attack with his Nexus there.
Yeah, I think he didn't also play a Phyrexian Crusader, probably waiting for that 6th land player on Mana Leak.
So he didn't activate Nexus because he was worried about Dismember, I suppose?
Probably.
Something.
But now this turn he decides to get in.
This turn he's like, enough with that.
Change the game plan here.
Serves him for 1 poison damage with the Inkmoth Nexus. And Stephen Wise plays Worm Coil Engine.
The Big Daddy himself. The life link, not too relevant, but 6 a turn adds up pretty fast. And you can happily Day of Judgment that away. That's not a problem.
5. There's Skitherix the Blight Dragon. Gives it haste.
And brings him up to 5 poison.
Yep, I imagine now we'll see some dang.
I'm sure.
Gotta get that Skitherix off the board.
Sure we will.
Takes 2 to regenerate. Logan only was able to leave 1 up.
Yep, had to play it in that window because he seems like he was playing around Mana Leak now. Brings Logan to 14.
Logan at 14, and now the board's going to clear up.
Yep. Interesting thing about Logan's deck, though, he has 3 Skitherix, so he could easily have a second.
Yep. And it's cloudy with the chance of Day of Judgment, and the chance happens, goes down, gets 2 Worm tokens, and Skitherix is away. Still no Worm tokens on the board, but I assure you they are there.
And many spells end it right now for Logan. Lash Wraith, Skitherix, and another Nexus. That is a 2-turn clock.
Nexus comes in, Steven down to 6, or up to 6 poison, 2 more hits. They're the lovely Yo MTG taps, Big Head Joe, and Joey Pasco, Worm Coil Engine tokens.
Which one's Death Touch, you think?
Death Touch is on the left. Big Head Joe is Death Touch, Joey is Life Link. You can see it written on the card.
Joey's Life Link, yeah.
Yeah, Life and Death. Attack you for 6. Brings Logan in. Logan goes down to 14.
8, I think. I think the life total might be wrong because I think he crashed in before he dayed last time.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, there we go. 8, that's correct. Oh, Think Twice for Stephen Wise. Okay.
Yep.
Looking to find an answer. Draws an O-ring. That's not going to do him any good.
No, also...
Flashes back Think Twice.
Yep, Stephen Wise is at 6 there. That is correct now.
Yeah.
And will be going up to 8. So Stephen Wise needs to find some answer to these Inkmoth.
No, he does draw Snapcaster Mage. He plays another Nexus.
Wow.
But a single answer will stop both of them because of Snapcaster Mage, assuming it's Dismember or something. But he has to find it right here.
And
that was a Plains. That'll not do it. Man, good old triple Inkmoth Nexus draw.
Yep, that'll do it. And I don't even think he has anything in his graveyard, for even if he trump blocks with the Nexus here.
Yeah, no, I think Logan just takes the damage and then untap attacks with 3 Nexuses next turn.
Nexus or Nexi or Nexuses.
It is Nexuses. We actually looked this up on air in Atlanta because I kept saying Nexi because I think it sounds way cooler.
It does.
But I was informed that was not the case. Although I still will call them Nexi just because I think it's awesome.
Yeah, I think I will too. Let's actually start that.
Yeah. You should make that a thing. You know, I'm an English major. I get to propagate incorrect word use, right?
Perfect. I like it.
Yeah, and Stephen Wise picks up his cards as Logan crashes in with those.
Does not look happy about that. Nexi, right. Multiple Nexuses, Nexi. Let's look at the sideboards here.
61 cards
I like
in
it.
Stephen's deck. All right, so let's see. He's got a Wormcoil Engine, an Elish Norn, a Ghost Quarter, 2 Purify the Grave,
Nice.
2 Revoke Existence, 2 Ratchet Bomb, an Oblivion Ring, 2 Timely Reinforcements, a Negate, and 2 Celestial Purge.
Okay, so we'll definitely see the Celestial Purges, perhaps the Ratchet Bombs.
I would probably expect the Ratchet Bombs.
Yep. Purify the Grave does not do a heck of a lot. Elish Norn is expensive, but if it comes down, it blanks every creature except Skithiryx.
I like Elish Norn. Deals with all those Ink Moth.
It does. Let's actually run over Steve's deck real quick because we didn't get the chance to do that. He has 3 Snapcaster, a Wormcoil, a Consecrated Sphinx, a Phantasmal Image, a Sun Titan, a pair of Grave Titans. He's running a little Unburial Rites package with 1 Liliana and 2 Unburial, 2 O-Ring, a Doomblade, 2 Go for the Throat, 1 Dismember, 3 Days, 4 Mana Leak, 3 Think Twice, 4 Forbidden Alchemy, and 3 Dissipate. So what do you think Steve will be siding out here?
I think he probably wants to cut. Well, I think the Doomblade's going to come out.
Doomblade for sure.
I mean, well, it does kill Inkmoth Nexus.
That is a problem for Solar.
It's not completely dead, but I don't know if you want the Oblivion Rings are coming out. I would imagine maybe Dissipate. O-Ring deals with Lash Red and some of the creatures, but I don't know how exciting. And Skithiryx, I suppose.
Still, when Lash Wraith, the turn after it comes into play, it's probably already done its damage.
Yeah.
So I expect O-Ring to come out as well. Maybe some of the fatties.
Yeah, he's got so many fatties.
Wormcoil
seems
very
particularly
unimpressive. Yeah.
Sphinx can block the flyers, which is nice.
That's
Maybe
true.
you do want the Doomblade just to deal with those Inkmoth Nexus.
Yeah, that is a big problem for Solar Flare.
It probably also brings in his Ghost Quarter, so we can fight Nexus a little better.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to know what you're going to take out a deck like this. All your cards look pretty live. Maybe you don't want Unburial Rights. You don't need to go for that.
Maybe not. I mean, the thing about a deck like Solar Flare is that all its cards can just do multiple things, and they're all pretty similar. So it's really just almost personal preference whether you want to keep the counters or keep the removal.
Yeah, sure.
Or maybe he's played the matchup more than us and knows.
How about Logan? Let's take a look over here.
Okay.
He's got 2 Metamorph, a Whispering Spectre, 2 Tribute to Hunger, 2 Nihil Spellbomb, a Virulent Wound, 2 Spellskite, 2 Phyrexian Vatmother.
There we
That's
go.
the card you've been talking about. A Despise, and this is a big one. 1 or 2 Curse of Death's Hold for the mirror match against any blue-black deck.
That's an exciting card. We actually got a couple of tweets about that card earlier, people advocating it, but this is the first time we've seen it on the big stage here. So what will we see from Logan? Probably Nihil Spellbombs to fight the Forbidden Alchemies and the Think Twices. Basically free graveyard hate. They draw a card when they go out. Phyrexian Vatmother, what do you think? Is this the matchup for it?
It's certainly a 1 big threat, which is really nice. You just plop it down on 4. It's a 4/5. You have to deal with it. It is a little slower, but if Logan is planning to play a slower game, it's a good place to turn.
It is. The Despise, probably not. Logan does not, or rather Steve does not have many targets for that. Cards he'll be taking out, most likely Doomblade. Doesn't do a heck of a lot. Virulent Wound also kills Snapcaster, but that's probably not what you want to be doing. Contagion Clasp does that as well. Yeah, I expect to see him swap a lot of his removal for a lot more situational, or for a lot better situational cards like Nihil Spellbomb, Tribute to Hunger, and perhaps Phyrexian Vatmother. What do you think of Liliana of the Veil in Logan's deck?
I like it. I mean, a lot of people cut them, but I think it's actually pretty good. It seems to deal with like Dungrove Elder, which was a big problem for this deck we've seen all day, and just like it gives you such an advantage against the control decks, and it helps you out in a lot of matchups. It's a versatile card. I think it's phenomenal. I hope Logan keeps them in this matchup. I think they're good for him here.
Me too. I mean, even though Steven does have a little Unburial Rights package, Liliana is just such a great card against a control deck like Steve's.
Yeah, I really like having access to those 3 Lilianas here. I think if he draws one too, it could play a pretty crucial role in this matchup.
Definitely.
And I think they're going to take their opening hands.
Okay.
And we'll see what the players choose to do. Steven's going to be on the play here.
Yep. And he looks like he keeps, as does Logan.
All right. Tap Crystal Fortress again for Stephen Wise.
And Logan has that Inkmoth Nexus again, the ubiquitous Inkmoth Nexus.
Yeah, it's showing up everywhere. You know, even the ramp decks have it these days. Spell Skite down for Logan Peterson on turn 2.
Interesting choice. Not a card you generally see out of an aggressive deck, but drawing the hate away from things like Phyrexian Crusader, where Steven might only have one answer, can be huge.
There's a Despise for Logan.
So we will see Steve's hand here. It looks like Forbidden Alchemy, Snapcaster Mage, Swamp Island, Drowned Catacombs, and a Day of Judgment.
Yeah. That's exactly what's there.
Would you have cast that Forbidden Alchemy if you were Steven?
Why?
Oh. I keep thinking the Despise is Inquisition of Kozilek. so used to that one.
Does not seem optimal to cast that Forbidden Alchemy.
No. Completely wrong there. He takes the Snapcaster Mage. And now the Forbidden Alchemy gets cast. Just had a little problem with the timing there, right about the play.
Yep, no worries. So, looks at his top 4 cards. Sees Mana Leak, Consecrated Sphinx. Is that a land, maybe?
I think it is. But he takes the Mana... No, didn't take the Mana Leak.
It doesn't. So, the cards were Overring, Mana Leak, Consecrated Sphinx, and whatever he took. I couldn't quite make it out. I think it was that, whatever that is. Is that Ghost Quarter?
Ghost Quarter, I believe.
Yeah, deals with Inkmoth Nexus.
Yep.
That's a reasonable thing to do.
Definitely. He is a little overloaded on lands, but that one can act as a spell right here, which is great.
And there's Whispering Spectre.
And another Alchemy for Stephen Wise.
Time to go Alchemaic.
Island, Drowned Catacomb, Timely, and a land.
Yep. So 3 lands and a Timely Reinforcements.
Have to imagine he'll take the Timely.
Unless he needs land, I guess.
Right.
He doesn't have a big fatty in his hand, I don't think, yet.
No, he's digging for it.
He passed upon a Concentrated Sphinx earlier for that Ghost Quarter, which is probably a good choice.
Yeah, and there's a third Forbidden Alchemy.
Yep, and that's what he's going to do this turn. Opts not to Timely Reinforcements.
So Logan is going to begin the slow infecting process here.
He has Lash Wraith.
Maybe even with Lash Wraith.
That Lash Wraith can do some serious damage on Steven.
He's got to be a little leery of those 5 untapped mana there.
And Steven just lets it resolve. And that Spellskite will make sure that any tricks aren't a problem. All right, well,
Except
there's
Celestial Purge.
Celestial Purge, which is a nice little trick.
Yep.
Bada bing, bada boom.
So Whispering Spectre RFG'd, exiled from the game.
And Steven's going to flashback, I think, twice, and think twice. There's another day. Plenty of those.
We've seen 5 Day of Judgments this match from Steven.
Now it's good when you're staring down Inkmoth Nexus, but the Ghost Quarter will make sure that's not an issue.
Yep. Logan's looks like he's gonna play into the Ghost Quarter, make Steven use it.
Just force Steven to use it. That seems fine.
Yep. Especially with those 2 Forbidden Alchemies hanging out in the graveyard there.
Yep. Make sure he doesn't go up to 7 mana where he can flashback. And also, if he doesn't have a 6th land, he can't lay down any Titans or anything.
Exactly. So Logan will of course get a Swamp, and then I did see a Plague Stinger in his hand, but hard to make out the rest. So if you're Steven, what's your game plan here? Are you trying to just resolve a fatty? Or are you trying to contain all the threats?
I think you want to contain most of the threats in the early game, like Control tends to do. But at this point, yeah, he'd be perfectly happy just casting some big guy.
Right.
Let's see. So Plague Stinger comes down for Logan there. And
Steven does have a Dissipate in his hand. Chooses not to use it.
He's probably going to go for the day here and just wipe away that board.
I think so.
Forbidden Alchemy, end step, still digging. Looks like land, think twice, dismember, Grave Titan.
Grave Titan, and he does take the Titan. And I have to imagine we'll see a Day of Judgment here, especially since he's got another waiting in the wings.
Yeah, I think you just day, and then you pass Grave Titan on an empty board next turn.
That'll be hard to come back from for Logan.
I mean, unless Logan can win right now if he goes land, Skitherix, haste, equip Lash Wraith.
Oh.
Other than that, I think Steven should be good. I guess if he casts Titan next turn, same problem. But we'll see if he's got Skithiryx here.
Yep. And this will be...
there's 5. Well, there's Skithiryx.
Wow.
Does he have the land? I don't think he does. And Steven's just going to day that thing away right now.
All the difference one swamp can make.
Wouldn't think you need the 6th one, but he does pretty badly.
And now Steven has Dissipate mana up.
So he can dissipate away a Skithiryx.
But that's an Inkmoth Nexus. That is big.
No, I think Steven has Dismember, though. So he's going to go for Skithiryx number 2 here. But Dissipate will make sure the game's not over.
Boy.
And passes back to Stephen Wise. Stephen having plenty of answers for Logan's continual stream of threats here. Now, if you're Stephen, you just go for the Titan. You don't fear the 3rd Skithiryx, right?
I don't think you can. Most decks only play 2, so for him to be playing a 3rd and have it in his hand is pretty unlikely.
I mean, you could just try and do some alchemy stuff at the end of Logan's turn, but I think you just want to go for the Titan here.
Yeah.
Oh, plus you have 7 mana, so as long as that's a Dismember, which I think it is.
I think
no,
that's
on Burial
Burial
Rights.
Rights,
Yeah, that's on Burial Rights.
So I think you do have to go for it, since that Nexus is going to clock you.
Well, maybe you just go Unburial. Oh, he doesn't. I was going to say you could just Unburial Rights your Consecrated Sphinx.
That's true.
And then you draw a bunch of cards, too, to make sure you have answers. But he just goes for the quote-unquote safe play, which is Grave Titan. 10 points of power.
Which is probably not the safe play, actually.
Seems pretty safe.
And Logan's a 12, so he has to pay full price for... maybe he doesn't have to pay full price for this equip. We will see.
So he activates the Inkmoth Nexus and ships it to Lashwraith. Serves in for 6 poison.
Wow.
Well, that equipment doing some damage.
Over half of his effective life total here.
And Contagion clasps down one of the zombies to make sure he doesn't die.
Right. That's a good play. That ensures he'll be at 1 life.
Steven needs a Vapor Snag.
Ooh, that would be perfect.
But does have that on Burial Rights, which should cause a world of problems for Logan Peterson.
Yep, Logan will have to have a removal spell in addition to that Lashwraith.
Alright, gets 2 more zombies, cracks Logan down to 9 life. And let's see what option Steven has in his graveyard. You know he's got a Consecrated
the
Sphinx. Another land, 4, 5, on Burial Rights.
And if you're Steven here, do you flash it back as well?
Well, it depends on what his other target is. I can't quite tell.
I think it's only Snapcaster Mage, so only a 2/1.
Well, it's not going to help against Inkmoth Nexus, right? I'd rather keep mana up so if you draw Dissipate or something, you can cast it. You draw Think Twice and Mana Leak.
Mana Leak, there it is.
So yeah, that's pretty huge.
Definitely the better play there.
Alright, and I think Logan is dead now. I also think he's at 1, not 3, but I don't know if that's really relevant.
No, not too much. So another Nexus, but not going to help against the army of zombies.
Consecrated Sphinx is such a beating, that card.
It is. Logan would need a Doomblade right now. It doesn't look like he has it.
Taps 1.
Untaps 1.
Untaps 1, the old tap, untap
Yep.
trickery.
Psyching Steven out now.
Is that Liliana in this?
That is a Liliana.
Yeah, he's got Liliana, but that certainly won't do it.
It would only work if Steven was mind-slavered. Sack the Consecrated Sphinx. Logan out of options at this point.
But even then, Steven could just, Mana Leak it or something.
True.
Force Logan to pay the 3 and not be able to do anything.
Not be able to equip Lashwraith due to being at 1 life.
Pretty sure he's at 1 instead of 3, but I guess I'm not positive on that.
Relevant only for Lashwraith either way. So can't really tell how the player sideboarded. Didn't see any of the sideboard cards, except maybe Timely Reinforcements.
Yeah, we saw Timely's. We saw Celestial Purge,
Celestial
too.
Purge.
But that was kind of obvious.
Yeah.
We did see a Ghost Quarter, although he has 1 in his main deck, I think. Yeah, he does. Okay, so yeah, Logan attacks with Inkmoth Nexus. Sphinx gets a counter. Logan's taking a lot of turn, but I don't think it matters at all.
No, not at this point.
Untap.
And enter Crash Phase.
Boom. I would just concede.
Another mana leak.
Just in case of emergencies.
Yep.
Smash with
Boom.
Titan, smash with Sphinx.
And that is one dead mono black player.
Yeah. But still going into the third game, we did see Mono Black, in fact, finally pick up a game on camera.
All right.
After losing, what, 4 games on camera today?
I think it was 4. We'll see if Logan can take the crucial 5th game to make top 8 here.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess nothing's really changed.
No, I don't think we'll see many changes from him. He did have a Despise in that game.
Which is weird to me. I don't know that I would want that.
Yeah,
it does grab Snapcaster Mage and some of the Titans, I suppose, but...
Snapcaster Mage, though, not that relevant in this matchup.
I mean, like, rebuying removal is good, clearly, but outside of that, it's really not that impressive.
Right.
Nihil Spellbomb.
Nihil Spellbomb would have been a winner that game.
Yeah, Spellbomb is reasonable.
Virulent Wound, probably not. Whispering Spectre, I think that's more for the Wolf Run matchup than anything.
Every time I see that card in play, it's just, this card is so miserable.
It is. I've never seen it sacrificed for good effect.
Yeah, I've always seen it be a 3-mana 1/1 flyer.
It is a mainstay, though, in these decks, so...
Yeah, I understand that it's fine in certain situations. Like you said, against Wolf Run, it can be very good.
Right, but the thing is, it's usually your first Infector, because the only other one that's cheaper is Plague Stinger. So as your first Infector, it's going to take a while before you can discard cards. Turn 5, discard 2.
I mean, obviously you can live the dream of, turn 3 Spectre, turn 4 Lash Writhe or something, but
even so, wouldn't you want to keep your 5/5?
Yeah, exactly. Get to kill them next turn.
I'm not sure I get that card, but I think Jerry was definitely an advocate of it, and he's played this deck a lot.
Yeah, and I would take Jerry's word for it.
Definitely.
He's played this deck enough, and I trust him on the fact that Whispering Spectre is reasonable.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think too much sideboard changes will happen here. I think the players' decks, unlike some matchups, mostly want to be on the same, on the play as on the draw. Maybe Whispering Spectre gets a little worse depending on if you're on the draw or on the play.
Yeah, I can definitely buy that, but unfortunately there's no really effective creature to replace it with. They just didn't make that many good mono black Infectors, unfortunately. Plague Mirror was one that was always championed, but...
And Necropede is an option, too.
Necropede, too. Necropede sort of shines in the more control metagame, or in the more aggressive metagame. But Plague Mirror has fallen out of favor a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, you can get access to Phyrexian Metamorph if you want to just copy something, I suppose, or Shield of Vat Mothers, but I don't imagine we'll be seeing either of those.
That's true. Phyrexian Metamorph, copy my Skithiryx.
Not
a play that'll win many games.
I recommend that. Last game, we would have seen Skithiryx go the distance if he had another swamp.
Yeah, very close to taking it down. And even so, even if he kept up 2 black to regenerate, he couldn't have known that Steve had a day in his hand, but if he did, could have regenerated as well.
Indeed. Who do you think is favored here in Game 3? Do you think it's the Infect player because he's on the play, or do you think that Solar Flare has the tools to overcome that? I mean, those 2 purges are really good, too, for Steve. I think if he draws one of those purges, he'll be in good shape. But.
They are. I still think Logan's favored with his mono black Infect, only because Steven's removal is also, it doesn't all kill every creature. Like, for example, Dismember is the only one that kills every creature. Go for the Throat can't kill Nexus. Doomblade can't kill his black creatures. Even Celestial Purge does not fight Nexus effectively. So Steve really has to have the right answer at the right time. So if he can do that, I think he'll win. But overall, I think Logan is maybe a slight favorite.
Yeah, his removal suite is definitely not very expansive,
right.
Nor is it that great for this matchup. Go for the Throat, can't kill Nexus. Doomblade, can't kill anything but Nexus.
Right. Oblivion Ring. Skithiryx has probably already done damage at that point, so it's not that effective at answering Skithiryx. But really, I think this matchup might come down to Inkmoth Nexus for Logan.
Yeah. I mean, that card seems to be the pivotal card for the mono black Infect deck.
Definitely. Without that card, it probably wouldn't be a deck.
Yeah, we've seen a couple weird things, too. I mean, Logan has Liliana, which I really like, but we have seen both Dark Favor and Trigon of Rage played today.
Both options that do pretty much the same thing, but just in different ways.
Yeah, I mean, Trigon lets you spread it out a little bit. Dark Favor is cheaper, but obviously it has the creature enchantment problem.
Right. So it looks like they have their openers for Game 3, and both keep.
And there's an Inkmoth Nexus leading out for Logan Peterson. Dark Slick Shores on Stephen Wise's side.
So Whispering Spectre is drawn, and we might finally have a turn 2 Plague Stinger. We haven't seen that all day.
Yep,
maybe that's the key.
There's big stings. And we also see a Liliana in Logan's hand, and if he lands at Liliana now and starts going +1, he could demolish Stephen Wise.
Definitely.
I know that Whispering Spectre is tempting, but I would just play that Liliana here.
I think that's definitely a play, but
Right,
he disagrees.
I mean, it's obviously you want to continue just jamming your Infect linear. I mean, that's the obvious thing to do, but I really think if you play Liliana there and just start going +1, you just demolish Stephen Wise's hands.
Right, plus that ultimate that it builds up to, that's relevant too. That thing's a beating.
Right, Stephen Wise can't affect that at all for several turns, especially if we board out Oblivion Ring.
Yep.
So he's going to read the Whispering Spectre. He has a Dismember in his hand he might just use here.
He does, and a Day, so we'll see. But no fourth land.
He does have to think twice, though.
Now, paying retail? Okay, paying 1.
Yeah, you do not need to pay retail against an Infect deck.
If I was Steven, I probably would have tried to think twice. If I drew an untapped white land, I might have gone for Wrath there.
And so he mana leaks the other Whispering Spectre that comes down. I think he has to think twice in his hand. I could have misseen it, though.
I think he does, too.
I think twice. I think he has 2 think twice.
2 think twice, a Forbidden Alchemy, a Day of Judgment, and perhaps an unknown 5th card? Oh, only 4 cards. Lash Wraith.
Whip to Plague Singer? Ugh.
Wow. So Steven gives him the thumbs up there.
Alright, gonna think twice, looking to find... Or Snapcaster Mage.
That was the...
Oh, it wasn't think twice, it was Snapcaster Mage. There we go. It looked kind of similar.
Yeah, so that rebuys the Dismember. Steven falling to 12, the life total largely irrelevant.
Yeah, unless he dies like a Lash Wraith token or something.
Right.
Draws a Go for the throat. And probably... Gonna send him?
Yeah, I think so. And here, like we were just talking about, Go for the Throat will not kill that Nexus.
Which is huge.
Yeah.
Absolutely gigantic.
It's going to make all the difference here, as if he draws another Swamp, and there it is, Nexus is a 2-turn clock.
Yep, plays Nexus, equips Lash Wraith to it, attack.
And there it is. Steven goes up to 6 poison, has 1 turn to find an answer with that Alchemy.
7 poison, I think.
Oh,
right?
7
because the Inkmoth Nexus is a poison.
You're
itself.
right, 7 poison.
Steven goes for Alchemy, looking to find an answer. I think it's like 3 lands, Day of Judgment.
Not
and
going
once
to do
again,
it.
Day not good enough
Just
here.
a rerun of Game 1 here.
That's exactly what it feels like.
So Steven is going to have 2 more draw phases, it looks like, with that Think Twice. Or else he is done.
Alright, untaps.
And Logan says I wasn't done and plays a Virulent Wound.
Snapcaster Mage brings Steven up to 8 poison counters.
So, not good. And was that a
It was Ghost
Quarter?
That'll stop the Inkmoth Nexus.
Perfect. The perfect draw for Steven.
That will stop the Inkmoth Nexus. There you go, Steven. Of course, still definitely not out of the hole yet.
No. 7 poison means any creature is a formidable threat, as does that Lash Wraith.
Yeah. There's Liliana the Veil.
Ooh,
Imagine if he just played that Liliana on turn 3.
Game would be completely different.
I mean, he could have Virulent Wounded that Snapcaster like he just did, and I think Liliana would already be ready to go Ultimate. It'd reduce Steven down to 2 lands.
It would.
It'd be brutal.
There's Plague Stinger.
Yep, and Big Stings comes out to play. And I'm going to think twice. I might have thought twice in response after he tapped his Nexus.
Yeah.
It's not a worry anymore, and that way you could try and draw a Mana Leak.
Definitely. Did he not use Liliana here?
He just played Liliana, shipped the turn.
Interesting.
I got nothing. I mean, maybe he really wants his last card.
Yeah, his last card must be very good.
Yeah, that's the only defense I can have for that play. I guess you just land Liliana, don't discard. It's probably like a Skitherix or something.
Oh, that would make a lot of sense. So Steven plays his 5th land.
The Skitherix is lethal if it connects.
It is. So it looks like Steven's hand is Think Twice, Day of Judgment, Go for the Throat, and Forbidden Alchemy.
So he activates the Inkmoth Nexus, going to Ghost Quarter it.
Yeah.
But gets an untapped Swamp, so he can still get a mana there. So he has some mana untapped.
2 available, and I'm sure we'll see him use Liliana this turn. One of those 2 cards has to be worth pitching. Though maybe his thought process versus Steven is he has so many good cards that, rely on the graveyard, like Unburial Rites and Forbidden Alchemy.
I mean, I think that's true to a point, but they're still going to get value out of those cards the first time they cast them.
Right.
And with only 1 card, see, he doesn't use Liliana again.
Wow, interesting.
He just plays in another Nexus. Is the other card another Liliana?
Maybe. I'm not...
I thought it would have to be Skitherix. It's Liliana, I think. can't quite make it out, but there's no reason why we shouldn't be +1ing there.
I mean, maybe his plan is just to never use Liliana, just always have it sit there as a continual edict. Which,
I don't agree with that line of play.
No, I don't think so. I think even if you're going to do that, you want it on 4, so you can eat it twice.
That's another Liliana in his hand.
Wow.
It's so strange. Attack. All right, think twice from Stephen Wise.
Boy.
Desperation. Bloop. And he draws a Ghost Quarter.
And he didn't think twice during his main phase.
If he would have thought twice during his main phase, he would have drawn Ghost Quarter.
Yeah, and there's that smile on his face. He knows.
He knows.
So,
rough, Stephen
unfortunate
Wise.
for Steven, but Logan takes it 2-1. Mono Black Infect over Solar Flare to top 8 the Star City Open, Kansas City.
Yep, so it looks like 2 decks in our top 8 then. Yep. Tempered Steel and Mono Black Infect.
Very cool. No Dreaded Wolf Run yet.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some it's going to make top 8 though.
I'm sure.
I'd put it on 2.